Our Van Halen special continues with your host, Tommy Nast.
The only album not represented on Van Halen's Best of Volume 1 CD is Diver Down. Although that record was another platinum seller after its release in 1982, over half of the album featured cover songs, much to the chagrin of Alex and Eddie.
You have to remember that there are a number of different people involved in making a record. There's the band, there's the producer, and there are the executive producers, and there are people at the record company. And when you first walk in fresh, it's not your place to sit there and tell these people what to do.
Especially when you don't have a clue, you know? You're just going,
and so,
why is it going like this?
And so,
I didn't know this is how it was going to be. You know?
So you respect...
ignorance, you know?
You respect what other people think is the right thing to do. And the old cliche used to be that if you take a song that was a hit in the past, you're halfway there. That's like being with a woman that's half naked, you know. But that was the basic philosophy. And again, you know, in a band where you're running things by committee, you have to be flexible. You know, there's not one person who calls all the shots. And if somebody wants to do a particular song, and we were all open to doing it, well, then we would give it our best shot.
Al,
and
so damn diplomatic, it's making me sick. But anyway, Diver Down, our fifth record, had half cover tunes. And I had it personally up to here with it. That's why I built studio. I would rather bomb with my own music than make it doing someone else's music.
So after the Diver Down tour, Eddie built the 5150 studio, and with the freedom to write and record whatever they pleased, Van Halen started working on their biggest record to date, 1984, which featured a new sound for the band, keyboards, and a #1 single with Jump.
Where did you first come up with the riff, the keyboard riff?
I bought myself a Prophet synthesizer, and before the studio was built, it was on the living room floor of that house, the old house. Mm-hmm. And I must have played that riff over and over so many times, and I actually blew up 3 of those Prophet keyboards. All of a sudden, after an evening of playing it, smoke would come out of the damn thing. But anyway, I'm kind of a night person. That's when, you know, everybody's quiet and I can make my noise, and there's not a lot of distraction. But that's another reason I started building a studio, is because Valerie's going, I'm trying to sleep. Shut up! And to hear the same riff over and over and over, you know, it just was driving her up the wall, you know. So I wrote it on the living room floor in there, and then it was the first thing that Don and I put down here when the studio was, when it worked, and did it with a Lindrum machine, just to show the guys, and then we tracked it.
Was that a point when you decided, or the band decided, hey, we want to expand our horizons beside just, you know, guitar, bass, and drums?
when you sit in this room and you crank the volume to 115 dB and Ed plays something, it either affects you or it doesn't. There's no talking that needs to be done. It was just there. I have film of when Ed first played Jump, and he played it for hours and hours on end. And it's just funny, the camera cruises around, you know, and it's in its embryonic stage. But it had a magic to it. It didn't take a genius to figure out, hey, this is going to be a great song.
I
How are the personal feelings going through everybody at that period?
At that point in time, you could tell there was a little friction going on with Dave. It was around that time, or soon after the tour, that he worked on the EP that came out at California Girls,
Right.
and there was growing tension within the band, and it was becoming more of a job than being fun. At some point, all of a sudden you get people that gain a little wealth, a little notoriety, and all of a sudden, sting, it goes right to their head. Just from my observation, Dave was he was pretty well caught up in the whole thing about what Van Halen was and how big we had grown. And I think that really contributed to the growing tension between him and the rest of the band.
When did you start figuring out or feeling that Dave
blindsided us because he
was going to leave?
He did that Crazy from the Heat thing, and I thought that would relieve some of his whatever creative tension or whatever was happening with him, and that he'd be fresh to come back and do another record. Instead, he quit, and we were in shock.
We're running a little bit hot tonight. I can barely see the road from the heat coming on. Reach down between my legs, ease the seat back. She's running, I'm flying, right behind it, real me now. Got the feeling, power steering, busy robbing me, no stopping now. Panama, Panama, Panama.
Goodbye, Dave, and hello, Sam. When we come back, Van Halen welcomes Sammy Hagar to the band as the Album Network special chronicling the history of Van Halen continues.
Devil here. Get blamed for war, famine, drought, but hidden messages in music? No way. Listen.
Rock from the top of a mountain.
Now backwards.
Buy TDK cassettes now, or your music will suffer.
Who was that guy?
Now during TDK's Halloween treats, buy a multi-pack of TDK audio cassettes at participating stores and get a bonus tape free. For more hidden messages, visit www.tdk.com.
Tornado, anyone?
TDK, perfect reproduction.
Oh man, I love being a shark, checking out surfers.
Listen, kid, we're sharks, but you can't just go lunging at the first surfer splashing by.
Oh, there's one now!
Pass! He's not chewing Cinnaburst gum.
With flavor crystals?
Always hold out for flavor crystals.
Oh, here comes another one. Oh, he's getting away.
I'm telling you, Cinnaburst is worth waiting for.
Whatever.
Hey, I smell flavor crystals.
Share and share alike, right?
Sharks don't share. Get your own Cinnaburst gum.
Be careful with Cinnaburst, because everyone's gonna want some. Cinnaburst, bite the burst.
You know, you've got the whole world in front of you. There's the whole college thing, finding a job, building a career, and one other thing you probably haven't thought about. The one place you can go to do all those things, and more. It's the Air Force. Think about it. In the Air Force, you'll earn a good salary, find the career that's right for you, and get most of your college tuition paid for. Why limit yourself to one class or one job? Check out the Air Force and get it all. For more information, call 1-800-423-USAF. Paid for by the Air Force.
Paula Poundstone reviews Kurt Vonnegut.
Kurt Vonnegut, as I look at your Discover Card transactions, I see you went to the Nobody Beats the Wiz about 10 times.
Well, I found out what fun it was to be at the Wiz.
You were up to every other day there for a period of time.
I got the 2 video cameras, and I bought a computer.
In fact, you belong to that support group, don't you, Kurt?
Yes, those who use the Wiz too much.
To apply for your Discover Card, just call 1-800-IT-PAYS-TO.
How many credit cards could make a statement like that?
Use it where you see the Novus sign.
It's a feeding frenzy in your mouth. Millions of germs feasting in places your toothbrush may not find them. They may inflict the gum disease gingivitis. Use Listerine. Listerine kills germs and helps prevent gingivitis. Here, germs, taste this. The power of prevention. Listerine.
See your dentist. Use as directed when brushing and flossing are